Hello and welcome for today's session. Today's topic is CAPA post-implementation verification, the crucial step in quality improvement. My name is Vishal Bailot and I am your instructor for today's session. Introduction. In the world of quality management and continuous improvement, CAPA, that is short form for corrective action and preventive action, plays a pivotal role in the addressing issues and preventing their recurrences. CAPA processes are critical to maintaining product and service quality while ensuring regulatory compliances. Yet, the journey doesn't end with the implementing corrective and preventive actions. To ensure effectiveness and verify the success of your CAPA process, a critical step known as CAPA post-implementation verification is necessary. Corrective actions and preventive actions are structured approaches used by organizations to identify, investigate, and rectify problems as well as prevent their recurrences. CAPA is part of various quality management systems, including ISO 9001, FDA regulation, and many others. The CAPA process typically involves the following key steps. Step 1, identification of the problem. This step involves recognizing and documenting an issue or non-conformance within the organization's process or product. Investigation. A thorough investigation is conducted to determine the root cause of the problem. This step is critical for understanding the underlying issue that lead to the problem. Step 3. Corrective actions. Once the root cause is identified, a corrective action plan is developed to address and resolve the problem. Step 4. Preventive action. To prevent the issue from recurring, preventive actions are implemented. These actions are proactive measures aimed at reducing the likelihood of similar issue in the future. Now, let us understand this four step using a real world scenario. So, let me assume that a sandwich bread manufacturing company has identified that the bread rejection rate is suddenly increased from the past few months. So, based on this problem identification, they are digging into the step two. So, step two is investigation. In the investigation, they will perform the thorough analysis of what went wrong. And based on their investigation, they identified that the past few batches has been manufactured using the flour of an alternate vendor. So when they reached to the vendor manufacturing site, they identified that the particle size of the flour which is supplied by that vendor is higher than the particle size which is used by their standard vendor. So now they identified the issue, and the issue is the particle size of that vendor is not meeting the standards of the sandwich bread manufacturing company. So here the corrective action will be action taken on the root cause. The root cause is higher the particle size than the standard. So what they will do is they will reject all the consignment which is available in the facility of the sandwich bread manufacturing company, and they will block that particular vendor until they fix this particle size issue. Okay, so this is the corrective action which they have been performing against this problem. Now let us talk about preventive action. So what will be the preventive action in this case? So in this case, preventive action will be to communicate the same information with other manufacturing unit of this sandwich bread manufacturing company, because the other manufacturing unit also procuring the flour from this alternate vendor. So in future, if they do not block this particular vendor and they procure the flour which is not meeting the particle size of the standard, then they will also observe the same issue. So here we will do the preventive action is to communicate to the other manufacturing unit. So it will be, you know, avoided in future. And this is how we will be executing this four step of CAPA process. So here I want to give you a disclaimer that above steps are key step and used across all the organization using different methodology. So in nutshell, these are the four steps, but across the organization, across the industry, these steps are used in different way. The execution of the steps is different. So let us take one example is the seven step of CAPA. So in the pharmaceutical industry, they use seven step of CAPA. And the seven step is identification, evaluation, investigation, analysis, action planning, implementation, and follow up, and then verification. So they break down this four step into seven steps and they perform each step individually as per their template. Okay. Another option is 8D kappa. So 8D kappa is like create team, define the problem, containment, RCA investigation, corrective actions, implement and validate corrective actions, implement preventive actions, team recognition, and knowledge sharing. So this is the 8D step. Again, here also we are using the same four steps, but we are breaking down the four steps into eight different steps. The next is PDCA, plan, do, check, act. So this is also one of the problem solving technique where if you find the problem, so you will plan it and then based on the plan you do the actions and then you check whether the actions are satisfactorily implemented, actions are producing the result as expectation, and then you do the actions to mitigate in the future sites. Now, let us discuss about the CAPA post implementation verification. So, CAPA post implementation verification is the often overlooked but crucial step in the CAPA process. It ensures that corrective and preventive action taken have been effective in addressing the identified issues and preventing their recurrences. This verification step serves several essential purposes like confirmation of effectiveness. CAPA post implementation verification helps ensure that the implemented actions have been successful in resolving the problem. It verifies that the issue no longer exists and that the corrective action have had the desired impact. Compliance assurance. In the regulated industries such as healthcare, pharmaceutical, and aerospace, CAPA post-implementation verification is essential for regulatory compliance. Provide evidence that organization has taken the necessary step to rectify issue and prevent their return. Continuous improvement. CAPA post-implementation verification can reveal valuable insight about the effectiveness of organization's CAPA process. Best practices for CAPA post-implementation verification. To ensure that CAPA post-implementation verification is carried out effectively, organizations should consider following best practices. Clearly defined metrics. Define specific metrics and criteria for success. These metrics should be established during the CAPA planning phase and used to measure the effectiveness of the actions taken. Very important step, that is step 2, independent review. Assign the tasks of post-implementation verification to the individual or team not directly involved in the initial CAPA process. This independent review helps ensure an unbiased assessment. Step 3, review checkpoints. Ensure CAPA objective met. Ensure that personnel have thorough understanding of implemented CAPA. There is no adverse impact due to the CAPA implementation and no recurrence of the problem. Point 4, timely verification. Verification should be conducted in a timely manner to confirm that corrective action have been implemented according to the plan and are effective. Documentation. Thorough documentation of verification process, findings, and outcomes. This documentation is essential for regulatory purpose and for future reference. Feedback loop. Use the result of the post-implementation verification to identify any necessary process improvement. Continuously seek way to enhance the CAPA process based on this insight. Conclusion. Corrective and preventive action are an integral part of quality management and regulatory compliance for organizations across various industries. However, the journey to quality improvement does not conclude with the implementation of corrective and preventive action. CAPA post-implementation verification is the critical final step that confirms the effectiveness of the actions taken and ensure that the problem has been resolved and prevented from recurring. By adhering to the best practices and embracing this vital step, organization can not only maintain product and service quality but also drive continuous improvement and regulatory compliance. Thank you.